Hello and welcome to Talking Crap with Cody. I am your host, Cody Harder. This podcast I started a podcast a couple years ago, actually, with a buddy of mine. We called ourselves the Basement Dwellers. And that podcast I really enjoy listening to us. Maybe that's just a narcissistic thing, but I don't know. So I decided to do my own little project here because we haven't recorded for the Basement Dwellers in a while. So I'm starting this up. This podcast is going to be about anything, so anything can happen. My guest tonight is Marshall over there from Always Bet on Geek, and they're another podcast. Really enjoy listening to them as well. But Marshall's here with me. I'm just going to warn you guys ahead of time. We do, as he would say, we get lost in the weeds quite a bit. There's seriously no topic that is ever truly finished within this podcast. But I love talking to the dude. He's awesome. So I just want to say thank you, Marshall, so much for calling in and recording yourself, sending me the audio, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But thank you so much for helping me out with starting this podcast and doing this very first episode with me. So you can find him at Squishy Nos Inc. on Twitter, and you can follow this podcast on Twitter at Talking Crap W Cody. You can follow us on Facebook at Talking Crap with Cody. So I just want to say a big thank you to all the Twitter support that I've had. The 15 voters that voted, that's about 5 times as much as I expected. I had 3 names. I expected 3 people to vote. So thank you all so much for helping me choose a name for this podcast. And if you're listening to this, I want to say thank you so much for listening. And if you ever want to be on the show, just contact me through social media and we'll get something set up. I hope you guys enjoy the show. Thanks.
Two whole podcasts to figure out what the fuck I was doing wrong. So what the hell? This sounds like we're far away. Yeah, I'm using my webcam mic.
Yeah, that's what I was using at first, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And then I went into the files to pull up my Snowball, and it wasn't on there. It just wasn't registering. So I had to reboot my computer because
that's what you got to do.
Oh man, it pissed me off. Trying to figure
it's even worse whenever you have multiple Audacity windows up and you have 2 or 3 projects going at once, and then you can only really recover one, so you end up losing 2 if you have to. So there was a couple of times where I recorded on my webcam mic on purpose because I couldn't lose what I was working on. I know there's ways to save projects, but every time I've saved a project as a project, it condensed the files into one single thing, and you can still edit, but you can't pull each track apart. And if you're talking over me and I'm talking, I can just silence you altogether or silence me altogether and hear what you're saying.
See, the way Greg and I do it, he's got this fancy freaking audio mixing board because he can do that because he's got
he's awesome like that. I don't know.
But
here. Okay, I put my earbuds in.
But he's all fancy with that shit, so we have 2 mics connected to that, and then have that board connected to his computer, so then it just comes up that
we're both on here recorded. And then when we get people to call in, we just connect the phone to the auxiliary jack to the audio board, and then that records into Audacity automatically.
Yeah, that's just awesome.
I know. If I could do that, that'd be freaking amazing. But oh well, I got this fancy snowball microphone that I got for $12.
I can't believe you got it for $12. I got it like half price for $30, like a few Christmases ago.
Well, the thing is, like, I got a Best Buy credit card, and with that, I guess, like, as soon as you get the credit card, you get an automatic, like, $65 or something like that in, like, in-store credit. So I got that, okay. And then every time you pay on the card, it gives you like $10 in-store credit. So
that's really cool.
Yeah, so I just walked in there to see if the price had dropped, and of course it didn't. It's still $50, and I was like, damn. But luckily my wife was there, and she was like, hey, don't you still have like $65 or something like that for Best Buy? And I was like, you're right. So we ended up getting that.
That's
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, cool.
And the newest one, what's that? The Dead Men Tell No Tales. And then
I haven't
Tales
seen that
from the
yet.
Crypt. And what the fuck? And a bottle of Sprite. Got all 4 items for $12.
Well, damn.
Yeah. It was interesting. And the cashier was like, I hope you feel good about robbing us.
Like, I do actually, thank you.
I do, right? Like, well, that's what you guys do on a daily basis.
Yep. I'm just getting a little back. It's not really robbing y'all because I had to spend a lot of money to get these $60, the $65.
Exactly. Well, maxed out my card. That's plenty, right? And then I'm paying you guys back anyway, so screw you.
With interest, right? You're making your money. Back off me.
That is the best purchase I guess I've had, aside from, well, and the reason why I got the fucking credit card in the first place was so I could buy my damn computer. So I got my computer, and then
yeah, I might have to do that.
Yeah, and then we ended up. Funny story, real quick. I got a webcam. It's just like a cheap Logitech, low quality fucking camera, but it's high definition, whatever. It's still low quality. It doesn't pick up good video, but I ended up getting that because I had to trade in a keyboard and a mouse because I didn't know my computer came with a keyboard and a mouse, so I bought one.
Nice.
So I went in and traded the one I'd bought, got the webcam, and then ended up getting this microphone for $12. But we got the card so I could get the computer, and then after we got the computer, we decided to take a trip to Kansas City and go to Worlds of Fun.
Nice.
And that's where I spent the rest of my credit card money.
Oh.
It was decent. At least, we took my wife's 2 little sisters. Took them with. They had fun. Lacey had fun, and I had fun. But the main reason I wanted to go was because I wanted to go to Oceans of Fun, because I like water parks. I'm not a big public pool person, but I love water parks and theme parks, and I wanted to go to Oceans of Fun. And I bided my time. I was waiting and letting the girls do what they wanted to do and let them have the fun that they wanted to have. And I was like, all right, but at the end of the day, we're gonna go to Oceans of Fun. Well, it was like maybe 8 o'clock.
You're not going to tell me that you paid for this trip and you didn't get to go to what you wanted to go to, are you?
I didn't get to go to fucking Oceans of Fun.
Man.
Everybody got to take their trips. And, I mean, I was upset. I'm not going to lie. I was upset, but, it was one of them things where the trip really was not for me. I agreed to take Lacey's sisters, and it was basically for them because they they normally don't get out of the house very often. So
well, you're very good to give up your vacation of nookie and fun to play with kids.
well, no, I mean they're teenagers. They're at that age, but that's the thing. Like they don't really get out. They don't get to have the fun. They don't get to go and take trips like that or whatever. So the whole reason for the trip was for them to begin with.
Well, that's cool then.
But I wanted to go to Oceans of Fun, and I didn't get to go. It closed. It was like 8:00 at night. We were waiting for her two sisters to get off of this one ride, and like in the middle of them on this ride, they get on the loudspeaker over the park and said, "Attention, Worlds of Fun and Oceans of Fun guests. Oceans of Fun is now closed for the evening." And I was just like, no, my whole life.
So where is Oceans of Fun? I've heard of it, but I never really hear about it that much.
It's in Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay.
Yeah, like I growing up, I always knew that like Worlds of Fun and Oceans of Fun were like a good place to go. It was basically, well, the way it was explained to me, it was basically like it's the poor man's Disney World.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's how it was explained to me, but when I got there and I actually paid the money, I was like, hey, fucking no poor man's fucking Disney World. If this is the poor man's Disney World, I'd hate to pay for a trip for Disney World.
I was going to say, have you been to Disney World? It's definitely not cheap. We went for my daughter's second birthday because there was my ex-wife she's a nurse, and there was like a nursing convention there, and we got lots of discounts and all kinds of stuff off, and we still spent several $1,000s that week. I mean, it's pretty great. I can't imagine how much what we did would have cost if we saved up for 2 years. I mean, it was like, holy shit.
And then it was like handing that money over is just like, oh my gosh.
I mean, once you're in there and you pay to
work.
get in and everything, I mean, yeah, to do like the rides, you can do the rides. You just have to wait in line for 17 hours. Well, 2 or 3 in some rides, but it's like, this ride was only 30 seconds long. How come I stood in line for 4 hours for it?
Right, and then if you get like fast passes to any of them rides.
The fast passes are much better, but even fast passes on the popular rides, you have to wait 30, 40 minutes sometimes.
Exactly. That's what, I mean, we never got the fast pass, but, I mean...
Our shit was paid for by the nursing convention for the most part, so we didn't get any of that fancy stuff. I mean, it was great. I think I had just as much fun. Me and my ex had more fun because we brought my mom too, and my mom took my daughter off and did stuff, and we did stuff too. It was like pretty awesome.
Well, I mean, that's fun. At least you guys gotta, have your little adult time in there too.
Yeah, that's why we brought mom.
Yeah, but for the 4 of us to eat lunch at Worlds of Fun. We went to this, it was like an old 50s style diner type thing, but you get in there, you order it on the computer, then you go up to the counter and they give you your food.
$70, $80?
No, for the 4 of us, $88. And all we got we all got cheeseburgers, order of french fries, and we all got drinks. And it was $88 fucking dollars. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Just to have lunch, it's 80. Then we could have left the damn park, went to Burger King, had the same damn meal for less than $20, came back and still had enough time for the rest of the fucking day. But
that's not part of it, man. Part of it is being there and doing that.
Well, I had that experience and I've learned from it. I'm not doing that shit again. If we ever go back to Worlds of Fun, we're bringing snacks.
We're packing sandwiches. Fuck that.
I will wear a fanny pack, motherfucker. This is no joke there, man. They are expensive. And I bought a pair of sunglasses, and I still wear them because I forgot my sunglasses at the hotel. But I bought a pair of sunglasses for $10, and I was like, man, these are cool. They're like a cheap version of Oakley's. I ain't wearing them motherfuckers for like 10 minutes, and the damn lenses pop out. And I was just like, fuck, man. And now, like, I'm thinking about it. Like this pair of sunglasses would have cost me like $1 back in Sioux City, and I'm spending $10 on them. Not to mention $88 on fucking lunch that will cost me $20 at Burger King. I'm like, man, this place is tapping me out.
Yeah, that's what it's designed to do.
Damn.
Yeah, we had a water park. It wasn't like a theme park. It was just like several, like 3 or 4 big giant water slides, a wave pool, and one of those lazy rivers or whatever. They had some of the super fast slides too that weren't all like wavy and loop to loops, and it was just straight down. When we were growing up, it was called Adventure River.
Adventure River?
But somewhere, I don't know what year, somebody fell off a slide and died, and they closed. I guess it was a lawsuit that closed them down. I mean, that's been the rumor ever since I was a kid, so I really don't know what it was, but that's what everybody have always said. It was awesome. I love that shit. The lazy river, God, that was my favorite fucking thing. I would swim against the current. I'd piss people off because people are walking by or floating by, and I'm all up underneath them and shit. Yep, I was a kid. It was fun. I was a bad kid too. I didn't give a shit. You would have to hit me to get me to stop doing what I was wanting to do.
Damn. Nah. I was gonna say something. I fucking forgot.
I have a bad habit of breaking what you're thinking. Getting lost in the weeds is what Pat calls it.
Yeah. No, I could tell listening to A-Bog.
A-Bog, I don't like that. I'd rather spell the letters out, A-B-O-G, than A-Bog. I remember, I don't know if it was actually on an episode or if it was when I was there at Brian Maxwell's house when I recorded that episode there. Duncan Dave was like, yeah, and they even have a cool initial, A-Bog, and Maxwell was like, yeah, don't do that. No, they don't. No. And I personally agree with him. I don't A-Bog.
A-Bog. No, I started. I told Greg that too, and then he's like, no, you have no idea.
A-Bog.
A-Bog. But no, we don't have anything. We have BD, which is, I don't know. Fuck it. Sucks. I mean, Basement Dwellers itself isn't bad, but I mean, to have a cool initial BD, what's that? What big dicks?
Every time. There you go. That's as good as initials as any.
Yeah, but that's definitely not the case.
Your big dicks of podcasting.
Yeah, sure. That goes over real well.
Every time I hear BD, the initials like that, I think of there's a movie that I really love called PCU.
PCU.
It's like a PCU, yeah. It's got, damn it, oh my god, I can't even remember the dude. Jeremy Piven, and I can't remember the other guys. There's a couple other guys in it. John Favreau is in it. He's acting, and he's like a really stupid stoner dude, and it's funny as fuck. But it's like a college comedy, and damn, if you haven't seen it, it's hard to describe. It's really cool though. It's about a frat, the bad frat. It's like a modern day Animal House kind of movie.
Well, I'll have to take a look at it. What
PCU?
what year was it made?
Here, I'll look it up real quick. Yeah, PCU was awesome, man. First time I saw it, I was tripping on acid. Man, and with surround sound and everything, it's kind of made for that, dude. 1994 stoner film / comedy is what the description is. It's got David Spade in it too. I forgot.
Oh shit! I'll be right back. My kid's crying.
Don't cry. Don't you cry tonight. I still love you, baby. Don't you cry tonight. Well, that's kind of lame.
Heard you singing, by the way. So, did you find what you was looking for?
Who, me?
Well, yeah, ain't nobody else around here talking to.
Yeah, I was looking at PCU. You said what year was it, and I said 94.
Oh.
No, when you were gone, I was singing Guns N' Roses "Don't Cry,"
Oh.
and I was trying to find YouTube, and I got it up, and I pulled up the video real quick, and I was going to play some of that, but then I realized it's not going to play because I'm talking on the phone, so it kind of ruined it. So
That sucks.
it's okay. They were talking about it on TESD this week, so it was making me think about Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, I just listened to that episode today too.
I'm not all the way through it. I'm maybe about halfway through it. The only time I really get to listen to podcasts is on my commute to work, and it's only 15-minute drive.
Well, I guess I lucked out with that because my job requires me to not be around people.
Nice.
Yeah, so I get to just chill around myself and just be alone, plug in.
When I worked on the dock at FedEx, I was able to listen to podcasts 9 hours a night. That was when I first got into podcasts. My cousin, he was a professional wrestler, but he was on the indie circuit down here in the Mid-South area. He was like one Christmas, several Christmases ago, he was like, "Hey man, you like Stone Cold, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course I like Stone Cold." He's like, "Do you know what a podcast is?" I'm like, "No clue." He said, "Let me see your phone." He downloaded the iTunes podcast app thing. And Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Steve Austin Show. I started listening to that. And I listened to 110, 120 episodes back to back to back to back. Took a month or so. I don't know, 2 months maybe. And after that many episodes every single night, I got kind of tired of hearing about Stone Cold stuff. So,
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I get that with some of the podcasts I listen to.
Yeah, especially the next one that I started, because, I like Comic Book Man, and the first season was almost over. So then I did Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, and I listened to about 100 of those. But it's the same act,
exact same
pretty
thing
much.
over
So,
and over.
and there's nothing wrong with it, because there's small differences every episode. They're honing they're working on it, making it better and better. But, geez, I went to Fat Man on Batman. I listened to like 6 episodes, and then I'm like, man, I gotta find a podcast that I can listen to about comic books. And one of their commercials, they talked about I Sell Comics. You can listen to, I Sell Comics with Ming and Mike. And I'm like, hey, I know who those guys are. I watch Comic Book Man. So I listened to, I don't know, it was in the first 5 or 10 episodes, Mike had mentioned, support your local business, your local mortar stores, your comic stores. But if you don't have one around there, or they're assholes, give us a call. We'll mail you our comics. I was like, hell yeah. That's been like 5 or 6, or they're on season 7, so it's been 6 years. I've been a reservist at the stash now. They ship my shit down here to Mississippi. But and then somewhere in those first 10 episodes, I was introduced to Tell 'em Steve Day through I Sell Comics.
And you've mentioned that a few different times too during Basement
do
Dwellers.
Damn, I repeat myself that much.
I mean, that's a good story though, because you mentioned that
I'm probably the only ant that comes from I Sell Comics. I don't know. I haven't been bashed for that yet, but I'm proud.
No, I give all my anything I know about podcasts or anything. All that comes from Greg. I knew of podcasts. I just didn't know exactly what the fuck they were. So I just decided that I'll just stay away from podcasts. And then one day he comes up to me. He's like, I've been listening to the NPR podcasts and blah blah. I was like, dude, you're fucking weird. And then he's talking about this podcast and that podcast and blah 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 blah. And then he comes up and he's like, we should start our own podcast. So I was like, whatever. And then he showed me Tusk, and he's like, yeah, this movie came from one of Kevin Smith's podcasts,
right, yeah.
Smodcast. And I was like, all right, whatever. So then we're sitting there, and we're talking, and he's like, I really want to get a podcast started, because look what you could do out of just talking into a microphone and bouncing shit off of each other.
I think I've heard that it's the last medium out there that's not controlled or governed by any kind of authority or something.
Yeah. Then you gotta hop on it while you can, otherwise, fuck.
I mean, there's no telling. They might be listening to everything and recording everything, and supercomputers going through everything, listening for keywords like they do the phones and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, well, fuck them anyways.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a giant asteroid on the way to the planet that they don't want to warn us about because there would be chaos. There's no telling how much time we really got left.
Exactly true, especially...
Oh, we're not supposed to have an eclipse today. Oh, that eclipse is getting bigger. Oh no, that's not an eclipse.
That's no moon.
That's right. It's time to take your kids out of school and fucking hug them until the end.
Oh, man.
Man, do you get on social media often?
I'm on
other
Twitter.
than Twitter. Did you ever
Constantly.
see the meme that was going around that would say that, like, oh, that's no moon during the eclipse, and it would show
Oh no.
the actual eclipse, but they would Photoshop in the
Death Star? That would be fucking... That's cool. No, I haven't... I don't think I saw any memes about during the eclipse, except for maybe a couple of burn your eyes out, some of those kind of themes.
or fucking Donald Trump staring straight into it.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, are you kidding me? No, it was nuts, especially on Facebook.
The thing is, nowadays, once I broke past like 600 people that I was following, it was really hard to keep up with my feed. So now that I'm in past 1,000, I don't even look at my live feed anymore. I may every once in a while I'll flip through just to see, but unless you tag me in something, I really don't catch much on Twitter. I have a handful. I have about 5 people that will DM me screenshots, or they'll DM me people's tweets.
Yeah.
The ants are awesome people, man. I've had some people like I've been friendly with Scott Schiaffo on Facebook for a couple years now, and he came on Always Bet on Geek one time. But you go on his website, scottschiaffo.com, I think is what it is, and you can buy. Most of the proceeds go to Angels for Animals, or Angels for Animals. It's an animal charity to help all the animals that are fucked up in the world. I guess in the United States. Well, misplaced. They need their strays, or they're sick, or they're diseased.
Yeah.
They're gonna die. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Get them off the streets and into homes. But you can get on his site, and for like $20 you can get autographed pictures, 8x10s from him, Marilyn Gigliotti, Brian O'Halloran, Ernie O'Donnell, the Clerks crew, that whole genre and stuff. The more that you spend, the more he likes you, basically. No.
Well, it's all about money.
But
isn't it?
but I was having no, it's not like that. But I have like a section now because I started with my TESD, my Tell 'em Steve Dave Shrine. When I went to the stash the very first time, when I got to meet Mark and hang out with him, he told me that. Am I repeating myself if I told y'all this story already?
I don't know. It's the first time I'm hearing it, so.
Okay, me and Mark became pretty good friends over the phone because I had called every couple of weeks getting my comics and stuff. And for some reason he took to me. I don't know what I did, but anyway, he told me when he was working I could stay in the store from open to close if I wanted to, and I could work his shift with him. He didn't give a shit, And I did that. We were there for 7 days, and I did that. Well, exactly that. I did that one time, but I stayed in there for a couple hours every day that I was there. I mean, he made it. He rolled out the red carpet, man. It was fucking awesome. Sorry, I miss Mark. He was a really cool dude, man.
Yeah, I know when the whole Tell 'em Steve Dave universe it was a hell of an earthquake when that happened, when he passed away.
Yeah.
I didn't know the man personally. I didn't honestly heard just very little about him through I Sell Comics and Tell 'em Steve Dave, but from the sounds of it, he was a good man.
He was. I'm not sure if you can. I'm pretty sure you can still listen to the episodes. It was This Morning Show podcast. And I think on Thursdays, like originally, there was a different podcast every day. It was supposed to be like the radio network, this SMOD, I'm not sure. And then towards the end, there was like Tuesdays had a podcast, and like Thursdays, whatever. It was Mike and Ming and Mark. And they recorded for, I don't know, they got maybe a year and a half of podcasts with him on it. And it's pretty cool. He was pretty neat. One of the episodes, they all gave me a shout out. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
I have it recorded. I have it saved. It's in my audio files. So, whenever I was there, I took out my 401k. I overcompensated. I spent so much fucking money at the store that week. But Walt got me. He gave me the Cryptozoic Man #1. That is him swinging with the villain in his arm, kind of like the Spider-Man cover, the first appearance of Spider-Man. He gave me that sketch cover, like the original sketch of it, and I brought it home, and with the other couple of stuff that I had signed, I started my corner. I called it like Flanagan's Corner, and because I told Walt
your little shrine you made of him.
Yeah, well, see, I told him that right before he went and got that picture, because there was a sketch cover on the wall that I bought off the wall at the stash. And I told him, whenever I was back there, whenever Mark had me sign the table, Walt came up and was watching. And I said, I heard you on TESD. You were talking about how you've seen Kevin, Shrines to Kevin, and Clerks and Muse, but where's the Walt Flanagan shrine? I know you were being silly, but you know what? I got this sketch cover, and you signed these comics for me. I'm going to start the first Walt Flanagan shrine. And he stopped and looked at me, and he kind of smirked a little bit. He's like, yeah? I was like, man, absolutely. He was like, are you going to be here for a couple days? I was like, yeah. He's like, you know what? Never mind. I'll be right back. And he left and went home and got this thing and brought it back to me. I was like, holy shit. I'm going to fucking have to clean your carpets, man. This is going to be bad. I rambled so much. I don't know if I got fake Walt or if he was thrilled that I spent so much money or if they truly do appreciate my support, or I don't even care. Because listening to TESD, I know he hates fans like me. I was drooling all over everybody, the store, I asked to see the basement. Mark was like, you know what? Nobody's ever asked to see the basement before. Yeah, sure. Check it out.
Well, I guess they don't just let any old fool come in on Comic Book Men, so there's got to be something there for you.
Well, me being on Comic Book Man had nothing to do with them. It was AMC, but I won them over just being like I am now, just some goofy ass dude that self-deprecating that they want to laugh at and shit like that. Like with whatever producer I talked to, when they said that I was going to do it, I was going to be able to come on, and she was calling for the last minute logistics. How am I, we're not going to pay for it, right? Yeah, I know. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to drive, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm in the deep woods south. And she was like, why? I was like, we're actually talking, and I'm sitting here looking at the road, and there is a fucking dude driving to the fucking Dollar General right here on a riding lawnmower. She was like, oh, man. And then like the next day, another woman called me, and she said, yeah, I'm so-and-so. I'm just doing a last-minute checkup. So-and-so said that I had to talk to you because she thought you were awesome and you won her over and something else. I was like, oh, y'all are thinking that I'm that damn goofy? I don't give a shit. Because when I got there was a couple dudes that I've been talking to on Twitter and Facebook on the crew. And they were like, yeah, they gave me kudos on the tribute podcast we did to Mark. They said they had all listened to it and that I did a good job. And I was like, wow, that's freaking awesome. But I was being goofy and shit. They thought I was really cool. They were like, man, make sure you try for next year. I was like, yeah, okay. I didn't. I should have. I was told that they're trying not to do repeat people. So just like I went there with all my aunt shit. I was going to wear TESD gear. I was going to go up in there and be like, what's up, fellas? And I wanted them to be like, what's up, Marshall? I wanted it to, because I was being silly, but I've been going there. Walt called me the Stash's best customer. So, I figured that it'd be like, what's up, Norm? Like cheers. And they even laughed. I pitched that to him. I was like, oh man, I can't, because they were like, the script says that you've never been there before. You're just coming in. And I was like, no, man, I'm the Stash's best customer.
No.
I got proof. Walt put it in writing, man. Are you kidding me? I don't spend that kind of money anymore because I'm divorced and single. But you know what I'm saying? It's and they're like, and he was like, well, do you have any ideas? I was like, yeah, this is the idea. Just what I told you. That, and they were like, no, we can't do that, man. It's like, oh, okay. He's like, you got to take all that stuff off. And
what? They made you take all your gear off?
yeah. Well, they were being they were cracking down that season on self-publicizing or publicity for anything, and I was like, but this is them. And he was like, yeah, I know, but even Walt had warned me not to send my video in. They're leery of Tell 'em Steve Dave fans because they're supposed to be unpredictable or whatever. I was like, oh shit, because Walt coached me for like a half hour on the phone one time about what I should tell him so that I could get on the show. I was like, oh, he was like, make sure you're not wearing any of the gear, none of the stash stuff. Make sure you don't stand in front of the wall of TESD stuff. Don't. And I was like, oh damn, I already did all that. He was like, oh no. It's like, yeah, but they asked for another video, so I had to send 3 videos in. The first time they were like, could you take all the stash stuff off? I was like, yeah. The second time was like, okay, could you not stand in front of the podcast stuff? I'm like, oh, sure, yeah. Then they were like, no, I sent 4 because they asked me 3 times. The third time they asked me, could you get closer? Because the video I made was far away. It's like, yeah, sure, whatever. I mean, whatever I got to do. Just, I thought they were just fucking with me at that point, but so and then ants, they're really, really generous. Like I mentioned, the Scott Schiaffo. Someone saw that my Schiaffo shrine part, the little subsection, was growing. So I had a guy send me. Frank number 5 sent me the clerk's cards, a couple of them with Scott Schiaffo on it, and
nice.
Then Smod Fan sent me Scott Schiaffo's book signed by Scott Schiaffo. So the ants are awesome. So they see me growing my TESD shrine, and some people are donating to it and patches, and man, I love the ants because now that I'm living on my own, and Alamo called it Flanagan's Cathedral, and that I was the first priest of Walt or some shit like that, which is funny. And I told Walt about that when I was on Comic Book Man. He thought it was funny. I was like, yeah, because I had actually thought about actually making the first Church of Flanagan, you know what I'm saying, and doing that. But then I was like, yeah, that's a little too far. And he was like, yeah, that's a little too far.
It might be, yeah, a little too much.
Really, I was just testing the water. I wanted to see the reaction, because if he was gung ho for it, there would be the Church of fucking Flanagan right now.
And then Flanagan said, let there be pod.
No gizmos or gadgets. That's reaching back kind of far. I think he's embraced the gizmos and gadgets at this point. So then my corner became a wall, and now it's the entire fucking room. Yeah, I don't have much room left, because then Brian Hartman, Hellmouth something, I forgot what his Twitter handle is, Hellmouth with numbers.
So you basically you're on the rope, like you have it and you're ready to put it out there, and you are ready to make it the church, right? That's what we are gonna do.
I don't know. He didn't. He wasn't down for it, so no, I'm not going to.
Damn.
Because I even made the Twitter handle, the Church of Flanagan and stuff like that, and but he wasn't down for it, and it's all good because it's silly anyway. Because I'm not really gonna worship Walt. I mean, it even kind of looks like it because I give him all my spare money and I have fucking comic book all over the damn walls. But
did you ever get the Prussian kissing skull little things that he made?
Yes, and I have it sitting in the little nest that it came with, and I have the salt poured around it, and I have a $5 bill sitting on it, and I have a couple of protection crystals in front of it.
That's awesome, man.
Because I don't necessarily believe in stuff like that, but with stuff like that, I do know the more people put belief in it, gives stuff like that power. And so I'm not taking chances. I mean, I'm actually fucking throwing wishes on the shit. So I mean, I'm stupid enough to do that. I need to take that salt off and put sea salt on it, because that's what you're supposed to do for protection.
Would you have like regular table salt around it?
That's all I had, man. It was really just for effect. You know, I was going to take a picture,
That's
because I got it in the curio cabinet and the backdrop. Because I have a lot of merch, shirts and stuff. So I have the shirt as the backdrop. I don't wear the shirt; it's up for display. And then in front of the shirt is the little nest with the money and the stuff and the salt around it. I have some tiger's eye and amethyst. I need a quartz crystal is what I need, but most of that stuff stayed at my ex's house. Yeah, I try to get everything that comes out, but there's some things I don't have. Like I don't have the flag and I don't have the Zippo. But I was one of the lucky ones that when they found the original vinyl cast, they found like a couple of crates a few years back.
Mm-hmm.
And it was already out of print for a couple of years, I think. And then they found that, and I was one of the first couple of ones to get that. So I have the vinyl, the original vinyl. Not the foam face one, but the like original one. And then right now, it's in the mail. I sent my Roast record final cast, the Brian Quinn Roast final cast, to the stash, and they all signed it.
See, that's one thing I haven't gotten yet was the vinyl cast. I haven't been putting any money towards that shit because I just don't have that fucking money.
I get it.
I mean, it's not that I don't want to contribute and do, the whole ant thing, but I just...
Man, even just talking about it on Twitter and helping publicize the podcast, that's helping in itself.
Yeah.
They appreciate support. You don't have to buy all their shit,
It's so funny because, like, I disagree with Brian on a lot of shit that he talks about.
Johnson or Quinn?
Huh? Johnson.
Okay.
Well, he's real. Like, he's probably one of the realest people I've ever heard on a podcast besides, like, you. But
please don't compare me with him. He is so much better than me.
I mean,
I appreciate it. I'll just shut up. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, when it comes to realism, a lot of people put on a face. Hell, even I put on a face when I'm sitting behind a microphone talking.
Oh, no. Yeah, definitely with me. I have diarrhea of the mouth. What you hear is what you get. What you see is what you get with me.
Yeah.
There's no need to lie. There's no need to put up a false fuck all that.
I mean, I know. And with my... I don't even get myself. The reason why I fucking do podcasts is because I want to figure out who I am. So I listen back to podcasts and I'm like, oh, that makes kind of sense, I guess. But
right.
No, with Johnson, it's like I said, I disagree with him on a lot of stuff, but between the three of them, like, it's just so entertaining to just hear them bounce their stuff off of each other, and how Flanagan, like, all three of them instigate each other, which is hilarious.
Oh yeah.
And Walter always loves to be the devil's advocate on any topic, and when he starts riling up Johnson, it's hilarious. It's oh man. Have you ever heard of the podcast Tabletop Champions?
Is it a role playing game thing?
Yes, it's freaking awesome. I started. Let's see, they're in their third season now. Basically, their third campaign. I started in the second season. I listened to the first episode, and I was hooked. And the first episode of the second season is episode 50, I believe.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and
we haven't done 50 in 2 years.
What's that?
I said we haven't done 50 in 2 years.
Yeah, neither have we.
Well, y'all less than us, but yeah. Because I remember in our 1 year episode, Ming and Mike came on, and Ming fucking teased me because he was like, "Oh, you keep losing all your recordings. Is that why you only have this many episodes in a year?"
Yeah.
And this year was even worse because this year was my divorce year, and we averaged just a little bit over one a month, like once every 3 weeks, every other week. I'm trying to get it back to a week, but man, my time is so limited at this point. Because, man, I just got hooked on a new TV show, and it's not new at all. And people have been telling me to watch it for fucking...
What show?
How I Met Your Mother.
Oh my god, dude.
Well, because, like, there's even a t-shirt that Marshall in that show wears called Marshall plus Steph Forever or something like that. And my ex was named Steph, and our friends gave me that shirt, Marshall plus Steph forever. And I'm like, oh, this is so sweet. This is awesome. Y'all had this made? No, this is from the show, blah, blah. I was like, oh, well, I like Jason Segel, and I loved Buffy, so I like Allison Hannigan. I don't know who these other folks are. Barney Stinson, holy shit. Doogie Howser, fucking A. I loved Doogie when I was a kid. And then he's the biggest womanizing dude I've ever met, and then or I've ever heard of. And then it's like, yeah, well, he's really gay in real life. He's married to a dude. And it's like, okay, well, damn, he's an actor, man. What the fuck?
No, and it comes out in that fucking show. That show is fucking amazing. I had to binge it all though. I watched every single episode in I think like less than 2 months, and I binged it. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. That happens a lot with me. I binged it. It was awesome. I liked it. Sorry. Go on.
I think like TBS and some other station are showing the show like 2 episodes a night.
Yeah, they do. They do the reruns, but I packed it up on Netflix and got up on there.
I don't have Netflix. I wish I did, because one is on the very end of season 4, and the other one, like, I'm missing season 5. I haven't seen season 5, but I watched 1 through 4. And then I skipped to 6, and I think I'm in 7 now.
Yeah, they jump around too much though on TV. Like when they do reruns, they never.
Oh no, they're showing them in a row.
For
it's
real?
Just there's two stations.
I don't know.
One when I started recording was on season 6. It started, and the other one had started on season 1. So I got like on my DVR, I have 1 through 4 recorded. Yeah, 1 through 4, and then I'm missing 5, and then the other one was 6 through like 8. I might be on season 9, but I don't even know right now. I don't want to turn the TV on. That's background noise.
It's a good show. I like it.
It is. Yeah, I'm hooked.
The show that I really enjoy listening to listen to me. Fuck. The show I really like watching right now is actually the Flash, Arrow, and DC's Legends of Tomorrow. I've been like, I got into that like way back. Well, first, I heard Kevin Smith talking about Flash this, Flash that, and this was before he even went out to direct any episodes. And he's like, it's such a good series and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, well, I got to start watching Flash then. So I started watching The Flash, and I got maybe like 3 episodes in, and they start talking about like the events that happened in Arrow. So, of course, I went all the way back to the beginning of Arrow and watched the first 3 seasons of Arrow, and then right where it cuts off is where Flash begins. So then I started watching Flash, and then it just all kind of like blurred together, and then next thing you know, Supergirl's coming out, DC's Legends of Tomorrow's coming out, and I'm just like, how am I can't even keep up anymore. But I managed. And now I'm all up to date with all of it. And
well, sweet. You and Pat would have an awesome conversation because I don't watch any of it.
I'm not up to date on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., though. I've been watching it at night.
I'm a couple seasons behind at this point.
What are they up to? Season 4 or 5? I don't know. The one they just released on Netflix is the one with Ghost Rider. And
I think that's season 4.
I know. I started watching it when it was like brand new. When it first came out, I was like every night or every.
I tried to. The first episode, something about the first episode turned me off to it. I forgot what it was, and I watched season 2, and I liked that a lot. So then I went back and watched 1, 2, and then 3 was. I'm pretty sure. It's hard.
Season 1, they really piggybacked off of, was it like the first Avengers movie? They really, like...
Well, yeah, that was the point. It was supposed to be...
Yeah. And I mean, I get it. And cool. that was like the whole reason why I got into it anyways, because, hell, I'm a big fucking Marvel fan, so I watch all the movies. By the way, I just finally got Civil War today. My wife signed us up for this Disney thing. Basically, you spend at least $20 a month on movies, and you get discounted movies. And I finally completed my collection with Civil War because I didn't have that Doctor Strange or Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 for my collection.
I haven't seen any of those three that you just said.
Seriously? Oh, I have them all. Maybe I'll ship them off to you one day and you can watch them.
Okay.
But
do you have them on PDF? Wait, did I say that out loud?
Not yet. No.
There are 4 seasons of S.H.I.E.L.D.
4 seasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Currently, and then season 5 is getting ready to drop on CW. Is it? Did they sign over to CW now or something like that?
What station is it? It says American Television Series.
It's giving me nothing.
Yeah,
well, I've seen advertisements for it though on CW. I don't know if that's just that they bought certain rights so they could air it, but I'm not entirely sure if ABC still has it.
It was on ABC, but yeah, I'm not sure if it season ABC.com. Oh, I guess you can go to ABC.com and watch that. I forgot.
Yeah, but you have to have a membership, don't you? Like a subscription to their fucking thing.
I'm not sure. I know you have to have cable because I watch Survivor on CBS.com, and you have to prove to them that you're a cable provider, that you have a cable provider. You can I don't know.
But those are like my main shows that I watch. I talked to you last Friday about how I jumped into like the recent season of Game of Thrones. And everybody I talk to is always the same thing. Like you started at the latest season, but you gotta go back and watch it. But I'm telling you, I've read the comments, I've read the spoilers, heard the spoilers, watched videos, watched this, that, blah, blah, blah. The only thing I haven't done was actually watch the entire series.
Yeah.
But what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to write it out, wait until the series ends, and then I'm going to go back and watch it all again. Because I'm basically all caught up with the knowledge of it. It's just I haven't watched it. And I just watched this recent season. Damn, it was a badass season. Or there's
I hate getting stuck in these fucking pop-up ads and stuff. Stars you may not know have passed away, and the picture on it is fucking Liv Tyler, and I'm like, wait, she's not dead, is she? And now I'm clicking the damn thing and looking through the fucking
oh man, going down the rabbit holes.
I bet. Okay, so what originally made you want to do a solo podcast? This is something we should have talked about an hour ago.
At the beginning of this. No,
we didn't even say what's up. This is Cody and Marshall. Welcome to, what are we gonna call it?
I don't know. That's why I got that. I should actually check it, but I got that vote going on Twitter, and
oh right.
So far,
I liked Cody talks. What was it? Talks shit. No,
talking crap with Cody.
Talking crap with Cody. I voted all in, but I liked talking crap with Cody.
That one's at 54% right now. The other two are at 23%.
Okay. All in was
looks like we're going to go with talking crap with Cody. So it's funny because that was the one that I threw in there. It was actually going to be a segment on the Basement Dwellers, and getting back to why I'm starting this.
Right.
Podcast.
What happened with Greg, man? Did y'all have a big falling out? Did someone put someone's foot in someone's ass?
Totally.
Was it on accident?
Totally.
Was it purposeful?
I just couldn't handle him anymore. I had to push him off to the side. He's no. Really what happened is that life hit him. Yeah, this isn't my story to tell, so maybe I should wait for him to, get out there and tell. But basically,
it's cool. I'm not asking for personal details.
No. Basically,
was making sure that you guys were okay and everything.
No, we're perfectly fine. Like I said,
I don't like being the rebound girl, man.
Hey, it is what it is.
I don't want it to be that way.
But no, life hit him pretty hard recently. He's dealing with his stuff with him and his family, and things are going good with him, and I want to keep it that way. So I don't want to like butt in and be that type of friend where it's like, come on, man, you have to have this obligation to the podcast. You have to record every time I'm ready to record. You need to record. So essentially, the reason why I'm doing basically a solo podcast is because I need this as a personal therapy to me, because I need to talk. My wife says I give too much detail for shit. That's perfectly fine. If I can at least get my voice out there and talk to something or somebody, then I'm good for a little bit. But like, I need this as a therapy for my own personal life. Greg did it because it was a good idea. He wanted to do a podcast because it's for him. Now, as far as the Basement Dwellers go, I doubt that we're never going to do a Basement Dwellers podcast ever again. It's just, he's dealing with his shit right now, so he's busy. And I'm not putting anything against him for that, because I know, I don't know the exact position he's in, but I know I've been there. I've been in similar positions. I have a wife, I have a kid, I have 2 jobs. It's hard to, set time aside for this. And even now, like,
it's hard out here for a pimp.
What's that?
It's hard out here for a pimp.
It is. It really is. When you're grinding so hard now. But basically, I just, I like podcasting. I like recording. I like doing this stuff. And like I said, it's a therapy for me. So it helps me relieve some of the stress and the just kind of get lost. And other people turn to drinking or smoking or doing other stuff or playing video games or
don't be talking about smokers now.
I wanted to say,
because you're gonna have to edit a whole lot of lighter clicks in this edit. In this podcast, or you don't have to.
Probably not. Kevin Smith keeps all his in. So yeah, I wanted to start it because I just wanted to get keep podcasting. I wanted to keep it going and keep doing this and basically networking myself as well. I want to get out and meet new people, and podcasting has actually opened me up. If I never started podcasting, I would have never met you, Marshall. I would have never met all my other Twitter friends. The followers, I don't fucking like calling them followers. Friends. They're my friends because I talk to a lot of them. So
on Skype they're called followers, so it's okay. That's like with Pat. My problem is calling listeners fans, because dude, I don't care how much you dig Always Bet on Geek, I refuse to refer to some. I feel like such an asshole saying that I have fans.
I don't care if you call me a fan, because I am a fan of Always Bet on Geek. Trust me. Every time, that's like my go-to podcast though. Like every time, except for, hold on, because I want to get back to Tabletop Champions.
Okay, go ahead.
Before Tabletop Champions, it was always okay. The first podcast I would look for is Always Bet on Geek. Always Bet on Geek didn't release an episode this week. All right, so let's go to Tom
yeah,
Steve
that's
Dave.
nothing new.
Tom Steve Dave hasn't released their episode yet. Okay, so let's go to any of the other Smodcos. Well, still no fucking Smodco podcast. Well, what do? Basement Dwellers. Let's fucking go back and listen to me make a fool of myself like I do in every Basement Dweller podcast. Which, by the way, if you haven't listened to Basement Dwellers, go check us out. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and other Stitcher. Go listen to us on Stitcher.
What happened to Basement Dwellers on the new podworldorder.com?
Life hit, man. That's what happens. We were talking about it. We were getting into it. We were going to do it. But then we weren't able to record. We weren't able to do any of the business portion of it. So
to spend the money on something for a year if you're not going to do it. Because then if you only do like 6 or 7, podcasts a year, even though it is cheaper than like Sounndcloud and everywhere else, it's like half price. Even though you're still, if you only do 6 episodes, that's like what, $10 an episode that you're spending, and that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it just, I don't know. I don't even know how I'm going to get this episode out, but eventually, one way or another, it's going to drop. And
Well, with SoundCloud, with a new account, I think you start off with like 3 minutes for free. Then you have to start paying for storage on it or something.
Oh, well, we're way past 3 minutes, man.
Did I say 3 minutes? Man, I'm fucking high. I meant 3 hours. You get your first 3 hours for free.
Oh.
I'm looking at the recording, and we're at 101 and 36 minutes. And after I said minutes, I said it was 3 minutes for free.
101 what?
That's what we've been recording for. An hour and 1 minute and almost an hour 2 minutes.
Oh.
But then there's, a good 10 minutes of silence and looking up stuff. And
I'm going to get back real quick. Yeah, I just wanted to start this because
I love podcasting and networking and all that good shit. Meeting people. I'm not a very social person. I don't know if that ever comes out in the podcast at all, but
I wouldn't have guessed that you weren't a social person because you seem pretty open and warm to me.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna phrase it this way, but it's not how I mean it, so bear with me. I don't like meeting new people. I don't like talking to new people because
people suck.
The more I get out there, the more I'm just like, everybody's just nuts, batshit crazy. But I love hearing from people. I love hearing their sides of stories. I love engaging in deep conversation, but the types of conversations that I engage in, most people think I'm crazy for because for instance, like I said, this podcasting shit's a therapy for me. So. But
everybody's crazy. It's just there's different levels of crazy.
Just if you just go listen to any episode of The Basement Dwellers, you'll understand. But I'm socially awkward, so when it comes to actually talking to somebody new, it's just
I think the first time I was on Basement Dwellers, I don't think that you talked a whole lot. Now that I'm thinking about it,
nope, I didn't. I let you and Greg take over that episode, and then because I just listened to it not too long ago, and I was just like, man, I really did not talk. But it was funny because at the very beginning of the episode, you and him, talked for a little bit, and Greg comes in and he's like, man, you really haven't talked much this episode, Cody. And I'm like, we just started recording.
It's been 10 minutes, man. What do you mean?
Oh, it was hilarious. But
yeah, I guess that's about it. I'm very socially, but
I want to meet new people, but I don't want to
meet new people. Twitter's perfect. I'm right there with you, man. I'm telling you. You just have to worry about the evil, awful people that are two-faced and stuff. But
exactly. But
I'm learning around this. That's the reason I hate people. Everyone that I fucking meet wants to be gossipy and run their mouth.
Exactly. And then it doesn't help when you go onto social media and you hear all these whiny little bitches saying, oh, I deserve this, I need that. And that's one of the reasons why I fucking hate watching WWE, but I can't fucking turn away from it because of the drama. But
see, the way I put it is people judge you for watching wrestling, and I'm like, some people watch Young and the Restless, some people watch All My Children, whatever the hell they're all called, I don't know.
Exactly. No, it's
this is what
our
we
soap
watch.
opera.
This is our soap opera, except for they hit each other a lot.
Exactly. There's a lot more fighting in these ones. But
speaking of which, have you? We were talking about this on Twitter earlier. I was gonna say, did you see about Roman Reigns not gonna be in the TLC match now?
No, but you told me because I haven't seen SmackDown yet, and I'm about halfway through Raw because I was having to record and then I was editing the last episode. And since I only have like a couple hours a night, I can't edit and do anything else at all because I have the headphones on and I'm listening for sounds. And because like Maxwell told me, once you start editing and stuff, once you start paying attention to your sound qualities and stuff, you'll become a sound whore, a sound Nazi. And I really am, because there's a filter in Audacity that you can noise reduction.
Yeah.
That you can take away the background sound if there's a hum or some kind of constant sound.
Oh yeah, that is an editor's best friend. Is a good.
Well, see, the problem with that is though, if you do it a couple of times, it strips away background sound, but it also strips away like your voice too, so where you almost sound.
It kind of muffles you a bit, but
mechanic.
Yeah.
Almost like a robot.
Yeah, but some of that comes from, the acoustics of your environment. I think the way Greg explained it to me is that if you're not
tell me.
If you're not in a basically if you're not in a recording studio, that it's going to come up like echoey and all this other stuff. Just basically, it doesn't matter what type of mic you use, you're still going to have that reverberation coming back, and that's just the echo of your voice going back and forth through the walls. So when you get rid of the background sound, that gets more it's more prominent, because that's not the thing that reverberation isn't the thing that's being cut out. It's the noises in the background, like a fan going, or...
So, is there a way to get rid of that?
Probably, but I'm not the person to ask, because...
No, I wasn't sure if he had said anything about that or not.
No. He has told me, like, anything I know about recording and stuff comes from him. So,
well, I mean, if you don't know anything about it and someone starts getting into it, it's like Greek. I understand. You're like, I remember words, but I don't remember concepts, or I have no idea what he was talking about. I just remember,
Yeah. Well, unless he's actually showing me and teaching me hands-on how to take care of it, then I kind of like tune him out, because, I mean, not that he's annoying with it. It's just I don't understand what he's talking about, and sometimes it just, like, I can't follow along. And it doesn't help that I'm not very articulate, so my verbal library is limited to shits and fucks. But it doesn't, when he's talking, it just, some of the stuff just doesn't register in my mind. And I mean, that would be the same thing if like a doctor or somebody were to talk to me, or like, here's what I fucking don't like is fucking nurses. I love nurses because they do a good job doing their job, but don't come up to me and start talking medical terms and shit, because I don't know a fucking thing you're saying.
Right.
But it'd be the same thing with an audio engineer, or say somebody who actually works in the fucking movie department or movie industry and shit. Like, if they come up to me and start spreading their terms and shit, I don't have an idea of what the fuck they're talking about.
Right.
But hands-on, if that's if you want to teach me something, hands-on, show me it, and then I'll learn it. But don't tell me do this, do that, do this, because I have no fucking idea what the hell you're talking about. Anyways.
Okay, so I didn't see SmackDown, but I knew that Bray Wyatt and Curtis Axel and what's the girl's name? I just read this article on Twitter like yesterday. There was 3 people who they have whatever meningitis. JoJo, because Bray Wyatt and JoJo were dating, so they have some kind of something meningitis. I forgot what it's called, and I don't know what the fuck.
That's fucking weird. Bray Wyatt and JoJo.
Yeah,
that's fucking weird.
They were saying that Curtis Axel. It makes sense that Curtis Axel has it too, because Bray and Curtis are brothers, which I didn't know that they were really brothers. I thought.
Wait, Curtis Axel, the part of the Miztourage?
Mr. Perfect's kid. Yeah, part of the Miztourage. There's a few people that are out.
But I know whatever Bray Wyatt has, that's what Roman Reigns has, and that's why Kurt Angle had to step in. I mean, I'm not going to be able to watch TLC anyways, but that was a match I was really hoping to get some highlights on. Just because of the whole Shield. I told you last week that I was excited for them, but that was all because of the hype that they put behind it.
Yeah, it's a shame.
But, oh, man.
Oh, no, it's Bo Dallas.
Oh, yeah, because he's been out for...
Bray Wyatt and JoJo.
He's been out for a while
Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt are brothers. I don't really see the resemblance, except for they have long hair and beards, but, I'm not going to watch the YouTube video while we're recording. I can't find where I read it, though. Bray Wyatt's affair with JoJo started in 2015.
Oh, and that's why him and his wife got a divorce.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I only look at some stuff. Some of the stuff misses me, because really at this point I'm only on Twitter just to say hey to folks every once in a while.
No, I get you. I'm barely on Twitter anyways. The only reason why I've been active on Twitter recently is because I've been trying to get, or self-promote this shit.
No, I want to talk about Tabletop Champions real quick. They are a Dungeons and Dragons podcast, role playing. Oh man, okay. Let me gather my fucking thoughts. It's a good podcast. They do it in episodes.
And what are they called again?
Tabletop Champions. The DM, Sean, he has a hell of a way of putting a story together. But they have a hell of a group of people that they do they do the podcast with.
And they're playing 5th edition D&D too.
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that out there since I'm looking at it now.
Oh, you are? Well,
yeah.
Why am I explaining this if you're just gonna look it up anyways?
Well, I'm subscribed to it on iTunes now. I went ahead and they have 120 episodes so far.
Yeah. Go back and listen to episode 50. On each episode stays around an hour. They do pretty good at like keeping it short enough to keep.
I don't know, man. If I'm gonna start with a campaign and with a game, I'm gonna have to start with 0-0 and then go from 1. Because if I'm gonna listen to 60 plus episodes, I want to start at the beginning.
Well, see, each campaign is obviously different from the others, so it's all brand new characters every time. And
oh, that's a shame.
Kind of, but they kind of keep the same storyline going. Really, in order to get caught up for this season, just all you have to do is listen to last season, which starts at episode 50. Just go on from there. They're really good at keeping a structured story together. And I don't know, it's very easy to get lost into listening to it because it's so, the way they act it out in roleplay, you get so drawn into it and you're just like, I wish I was there playing with them, because it's just, you can tell that they have fun, and you can tell that.
Do they have a Twitter?
Yeah. Tabletop Champs. I mean, at the end of every episode they give their social medias out anyways, and where you can find them and blah 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 blah. They even have it to the point where you can go to this website and look at the map that they have drawn together.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, through, I'm pretty sure they use Roll20.
Man, it hurts me because with my ex, I ran lots of different games for her.
Yeah.
And I had a long-standing Buffy the Vampire Slayer game and a long-standing Dark Ages vampire game. She started in 1155 AD and she made her way into modern day. She was pretty badass. It was years and years. 10 years of role-playing. I guess both of those combined made her want to play D&D. So she said, let's play D&D. Cool. We have all the 3.5 books, and the 3.0 books. I made a campaign. It took me, a week. I made maps, towns, secrets. I made it just like basically Baldur's Gate, the original computer game. Did you ever play that?
I did not.
Baldur's Gate or Icewind Dale, or they were just 2nd edition and 3rd edition D&D. They were really fucking awesome. But, I made all the towns, all the politics in the towns. There'll be NPCs here and here and here from daylight to sun, and I got into real detail, and I made the whole little area, the continent, so many details, so many storylines that I wrote down. At the end of the first game, she was like, yeah, I don't want to play this anymore. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, we'll quit for the night. She's like, no, I don't ever want to play this ever again. I'm like, damn, was it that bad? She's like, no, it's just... No, I just want to play Buffy. Or I'd rather play Dark Age. I'm like, okay. That might have been a nice way of saying I don't like what you're doing, but I don't know. She wasn't as smart in D&D as she was in the other games.
Yeah. Well, and from my experience, I know that like D&D goes into way more detail just because it's such...
It depends on the storyteller, really.
Well, yeah.
Because I don't do all the voices and stuff that some storytellers do. But I'm all about the detail. I can build a city, man. That's what I do. That's why I like games, even to where you can build towns and build buildings and cities and all that shit.
I really love role-playing games because you can... It's just...
you can lose yourself. Like, just drift
anything's
away and
possible in a
become
role-playing
somebody
game.
else for a little bit. Just like podcasting. You just drift away and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I got a little too lost there.
Okay, so Roman Reigns now has... Oh, that's what I was looking up to find out what that fucking meningitis or whatever the fuck it was.
Oh, yeah. All I know is that whatever Bray Wyatt has, that's what Roman Reigns has. That's why he's out.
Okay, so was it on Raw that Kurt Angle steps in?
No, they had like a I can't even talk.
Exhibition match.
Yep, that thing tonight, and basically that's how they announced it. It was all over Twitter, and Kurt Angle come out and he's like, "Guess what? I'm going to be taking over the match." Blah blah blah, and there's even Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose had to put their titles up tonight, I guess, and they had a little backstage video where they were like, "Man, life happens, we get that, but this hurts. At least we got a good backup teammate for this," and blah blah blah. So they didn't really explain what was going on. I had to do a little bit of digging to find out what was really going on. I just basically got all the minor details of Kurt Angle now being a part of the Shield for Sunday, and they're still gonna have the 5-on-3 handicap match. Man, it just kind of sucks because I wanted to see the Shield prove themselves right, because they're gonna win the match anyways. It's just how the story goes, but.
Well, they don't say exactly what it's called and what I'm looking at right now, but it says Bray Wyatt, his real-life brother Bo Dallas, and his real-life girlfriend JoJo are all dealing with an illness. But they're not telling me what kind of meningitis that I'm reading. I'm not... Because the only meningitis I can think of is like a spinal meningitis, and it wasn't nothing like that. I don't remember.
Well, they all get caught up in a fucking orgy or something?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't have any clue. That makes me wonder, but I want to know.
Either that or
it says viral meningitis, so I don't know. It's just a super bug, maybe. I mean, I don't know.
Dude, I gotta say though, I am very fucking excited to see Punisher when that comes out. Oh, I can't wait. I just don't want it to be all hype like some of the shit was. Like Iron Fist was hype, and look what happened to that. And then fucking Defenders. The Defenders was good, but I just feel like it was more like a Iron Fist season 2 instead of an actual Defenders plot. You know what I mean? I don't know. Have you ever seen or watched the Defenders yet?
I've seen Daredevil season 1 and 2, Jessica Jones season 1, and episode 1 of Luke Cage. I've missed a bunch.
Luke Cage was really good. Obviously,
well, that was when I realized that watching one episode of Luke Cage was one of my 6 gigs of memory for the month. So I was like, yeah, fuck Netflix, sorry. So I haven't watched any of the stuff.
It's Iron Fist, it was good in its own way, but I just feel like it got away from them, and it really wasn't what I was expecting and hoping for. And then when Defenders came out, it was basically a continuation of Iron Fist, and it was one of them things I wasn't expecting them to take that route with it, but
it's easily spread by coughing and sneezing. It's spread through direct contact with saliva.
Oh, the meningitis! I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Nasal mucus or feces.
Man, you had me all fucked up right there.
Well, I was still looking at it. I'm sorry.
But so that's you don't fucking cough. You know what? They were probably all making out. That's what it was. JoJo was getting in there.
Well, it's an inflammation of the tissue that covers the brain and spinal cord. It's often less severe than bacterial meningitis, and most people get better on their own without treatment.
Well, so it's
it's
nothing
just some kind of some mega virus. Yeah, it hurt him. and if you sneeze around somebody, you can catch it. So that's why the article I read was like, yeah, it makes sense that Bo got it as well. But for some reason, I guess just because I fucking smoke too much, I was remembering it was Curtis Axel, and I'm like, that makes no goddamn sense. Curtis Axel's Kurt Hennig's kid, and what's his name? Bray Wyatt is IRS's Rotunda's kid. So it was like, I'm going crazy. Are they lying to me? Is this article must be full of shit? But this is a reliable source. Oh my god, I don't know what to do. No, sorry.
It was the wrong brother. That's something. All right, going back to WWE, the fucking the Good Brothers. I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
I like Luke Gallows, man. I liked Festus a lot. Wait, did we have this conversation before?
We did.
Do you know who?
We did. I just don't like.
You didn't know who Festus was. That's
No.
what it was. Okay.
Because
Because I was fixing to ask you that question. I'm like, I'm having deja vu.
Yeah. I just.
When they go up to people and they're like, "You're a nerd," like, you guys are trying too hard to be bullies. I mean, I get where your characters are coming from. I get the idea, but you need to put a little bit more effort into it instead of just.
Yup.
Bad acting.
Yeah, I like the Good Brothers gimmick to it, but yeah, I like it. And he says something, and the dude says, "Yup."
Yep.
The nerds, I don't know. I've been called a nerd a lot in my life, so I don't really care for it either. But they're really good. They need to do more with them. They're really good.
It's not the term itself. It's
just how they do it. Nerds.
You're a bunch of nerds or whatever. But I like my favorite tag team right now is the Usos. I love those guys. For some reason, I know they tried to turn them heel out there on SmackDown, and they did a good job being the bad guy for a bit. But I don't know. I kind of think
they're pretty good on the mic together.
Yeah, and just how they go back and forth, and just I don't know. I could do without the Oos. Hey Oos, what's up, right. Oos? But.
Well, some people say man, and some people say dude, and they just say oos when they're talking to each other because they're both Usos, I guess.
I don't know. I liked it better though when they were out in, all tribaled out and shit. You remember when they would come out like that?
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago, I don't guess.
No, it was it 4 years ago? 4 or 3 years maybe?
Wow, I didn't realize it was that long.
Well, I mean, it still technically is not that long if you're talking about WWE because they can play stories out forever.
Oh, gimmicks, yeah. Gimmicks are hard to get rid of sometimes.
Yeah. Well, look at John Cena. Like, he was never supposed to go as far as he did. I mean, he was the next big thing, and they promoted him a lot. But then people.
Well, he was supposed to be a heel, and people loved that shit, that thugonomic shit. It was like the fuck, and he was good. Like he can flow.
Yeah,
he's good with improv lyrics.
When his rivalry that they tried to kick up with Roman Reigns was fucking hilarious. Because the way I saw it was just like it's just
everybody's beating him
Rock.
now. Everybody's whooping his ass now. He's at the end of his career, and now he's putting everybody over. And I would like to see him beat Ric Flair's number of 16. They're tied with 16 right now.
Yeah.
Even Ric Flair said that he wanted that.
I don't think they're gonna do it anytime soon. I hope not, because
they keep saying that he's lessening his time, and he's coming to an end. He doesn't know how much time he has left.
Yeah. But I want it to be like I want him to get that 17 like later on, because if you think about all the other big superstars, I mean, it would just be the best end to his career. You know what I mean? Like get that 17th title and
retire,
reign for a little bit, then lose it and retire. I kind of feel like that's where they're going with Brock Lesnar.
I read somewhere that he was rumored to maybe do it at WrestleMania.
See, that's what I fear. Like, if you're gonna do it right, but don't do it at WrestleMania, because he already proposed to Nikki at WrestleMania.
Did he?
Huh?
I didn't know that was at WrestleMania. I haven't been able to see WrestleMania the past couple of years, so I don't know.
Yeah, that was part of my subscription, because actually I got the free 3 months, and then I just decided to pay for it after that, and then...
Well, they automatically take that out of your bank account. It's hard to freaking remember.
Yeah, but I mean, $10 isn't bad when you have $10.
Well, sometimes with me I didn't, and it overdrafted me in the bank a couple times.
Yeah, it did to me too, so that's why we had to get rid of it, because, I mean, $10 is actually a half a tank of gas for us. But
it's about a third a tank from this fucking monster gas guzzling truck that I got.
No, we had 2 Ford Focuses that had EcoBoost engines.
Focus is awesome, yeah.
They're cool cars, but they're so small. I'm such a big guy, and they're such a small car, and I get...
How big are you? Because even through Periscopes, I never really thought of you as a big guy. Like,
it depends, I guess. But like, I've been to doctors, and I've been measured height-wise at, like, my tallest at 6'2", my shortest at 6'1". I know that's only an inch difference, but that's
a pretty big difference.
It really depends. So, like,
okay,
I don't know.
I didn't realize
but
you
I'm
were that
also
tall.
200 and, well, my heaviest I was 275 pounds. So.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm a big guy. So getting in and out of a Focus isn't ideal, but
yeah.
But
no,
they're
we
great
had
on,
one for a little
great
while.
on gas.
Not great.
They got an awesome sound system in them, and I love the technology that comes with those cars. But
sweet,
they're too small. But anyways, yeah. So I gotta watch. I'm pretty sure it was WrestleMania, because that's when the Hardy Boys came back, and
I came back at WrestleMania.
I'm pretty sure, wasn't it?
Dude, I don't remember.
Because it was a ladder match, and it was going to be, I think it was 3 tag teams for the titles.
It wasn't Royal Rumble or something? Because they got, for winning that, they got, like, did they win the championships, or did they?
Yeah, they did. They got it because it was a ladder match, and they won it. Yeah, okay, I'm pretty sure it was WrestleMania. That now.
You're probably right.
But, and that's when, yeah, because Roman Reigns beat Undertaker, and John Cena proposed to Nikki Bella. But yes, I just don't think, like, giving him the title at WrestleMania would be ideal. I just think it's too cliche. People are going to be waiting for it and watching for it, and I mean, give the people what they want. If you're going to do it at WrestleMania, do it. But I would rather prefer him get the championship at, like, Royal Rumble, or maybe not even a pay-per-view, maybe Monday Night Raw, give it to him, and then he has to defend it at WrestleMania. You know what I mean?
What I remembered who they were talking about, because Jinder Mahal wants to wrestle him, so they were talking about Jinder Mahal and Cena at WrestleMania. That's what it was.
I would love to see that. I don't
want to see Cena wrestle fucking Brock Lesnar anymore. I mean, Brock Lesnar has mauled fucking Cena so much, and now Cena's, like, on the downward spiral of his career. He's not going to stand a chance against him either. I mean,
yeah.
Again, I mean, I love John Cena. He's a fucking awesome dude. He didn't have tons of moves, but he's a really good, professional wrestler. He's
got good in-ring performance, or he's a good character.
I like Cena. I do a lot. So it's like, I hate that he's gonna lose to everybody on his way out. Basically, I want to see him kick people's ass. I wanted him to beat Roman Reigns. I wanted him to beat, who was it that beat him before Roman Reigns?
I know he had that match at one of the pay-per-views with
the past 3 or 4 people he's fought.
Baron
only
Corbin.
One of them.
He beat
Corbin. He beat Corbin. But the 2 before that beat him. Before Corbin
Was it Styles? I don't know. I don't think AJ Styles went against him.
He lost to Hitoshi Sakamoto. That's not his name. That's my character's name from Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke beat him. And Shinsuke almost broke his neck with whatever move that was. And then before that, I think, was it Styles? Did Styles beat him too?
See, I don't know. I can't remember if him and Styles fought, but because Styles has been all over the place. Like, it's hard to keep up with him because
I think it was because he did the United States Challenge.
Oh yeah, and Cena came out, and that's when that was like his big comeback was he was going to go for. Oh no, Rusev too, but he beat Rusev in the flag match. Didn't he? Yeah,
I don't remember. Rusev won by cheating or something like that. I don't remember him winning. But then after the match, Cena whipped his ass and flew the flag. I
didn't pay much attention to that match because.
And then before that, the Good Brothers beat him and John Cena, like when they were on, not John Cena, AJ Styles, when they were all on the same show together. They had the whole weekly, what are you going to do this week? Gonna beat up John Cena. I liked that, but it got annoying to me for some reason. I mean,
like I said, they kind of take storylines and stretch them out a little past their due dates, I guess.
So who's your favorite? You talked about your tag team. Who's your favorite, like, in-ring performer?
Single wrestler.
I can break it down and say mid card and upper card. That way you can choose two.
All right.
I'm saying this like I really know what I'm talking about. I really don't, but you know.
I would have to say I really, really like. Well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do 2 from Raw and 2 from SmackDown because that's just how it goes for me.
Sure.
Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura. Finn Balor is.
Those are the 2 most theatrical characters in the game.
They're very flashy, but they're very talented as far as like their acrobatics and in-ring performance. And I like seeing Nakamura as far as, you know, his flashy fucking entrance, but he has just such this style to him in the ring that I don't know. I just never really. I've never seen somebody do the stuff he does. You know what I mean?
Yep. If he would just not act as fucking crazy outside of the ring. All them funny faces that he makes and the hands and the... it's like, what the fuck? Are you having a stroke, dude? I mean...
But Finn Balor...
The first time I saw him, I almost...
you having a stroke? But,
dude.
No. Finn Balor I like because he's got story. Like, there's so much story behind him. And... I fancy myself a writer, which doesn't really say much since I'm not a very articulate person to begin with. But I like story. I like anything with consistency and plot twists. And that's exactly what Finn Balor has. But his recent rivalry with Bray Wyatt is just... I can't because they introduced Sister Abigail, and I can't do that.
Oh, have they showed her yet?
Yeah, it's just Bray Wyatt in makeup, and he's got this raggedy old veil over his face.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, and he talked. Okay, when they first showed her, like...
No way.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, I was expecting, like, maybe one of the female superstars or somebody to pitch.
Yeah, I thought they were going to bring somebody up from NXT or something.
Yeah, but no, it's...
No way. What is that? Is that on SmackDown? Because I haven't seen SmackDown, and I haven't seen that yet.
It's Raw because he's going. It's Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt rivalry right now. When they brought that up, it was the first day, 2 weeks ago now, that they brought in Sister Abigail, and it was Bray Wyatt, painted up face, and he had the shitty ass veil over him, and they did something to his voice to make it sound like it was a demonic female talking. But then this past Monday, I don't know if you've gotten this far yet in this episode,
Well, I haven't seen Sister Abigail at all, so I must have deleted the last Raw before that or something. Cause
it's not something that's easily missed. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't remember that at all. So if that was 2 weeks ago, I must have gotten rid of last week altogether.
they showed the promo of Bray Wyatt as Sister Abigail, and all he did was he raised his voice up to sound like this.
Oh, okay.
And it was like what they did the week prior was way better because they actually went in and changed the tone of his voice and everything.
Right.
But then they used like the raw audio from what they would hear in the arena, and they used that and played that, and it wasn't good. The whole Sister Abigail storyline is just not working with me. But Finn Balor as the demon works for me because he can bring it out.
He looks like Venom. The makeup,
Yes,
the demon
yes.
makeup looks like Venom to me.
He actually got new face paint because he came out and was talking. He was like, Sister Abigail can do this. Well, the demon can do this. And then they like phase out and show like the demon up close. And he's got like rip marks and stuff. I don't know. It'll be in the latest Raw when you'll see it. But
Okay.
it's all like orange, white, and black now. It's still really cool, but
Neat.
what?
I said neat.
Oh, I thought you said hey,
Hey.
hey. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Also, okay, so that's my top 2 Raw favorites. But that's even hard to say because I do really like Roman Reigns and I really like Dean Ambrose. But as of right now, since they're all a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. and they're technically the tag team now, I can't break them up because Dean and Seth Rollins have been a tag team for a while now. And I can't really say Dean Ambrose is my favorite because he's now officially part of S.H.I.E.L.D. again. So that's Raw. And SmackDown, obviously Randy Orton. Randy Orton's always been like up there in my top favorites. He's just cool to watch, I guess. Like, especially the more his character evolved through, when he first got started in WWE to now, like his entire evolution from Randy Orton then to the Legend Killer. And
Was that like that could have been a pun because he was in Evolution?
No. When I said that, I was like, yeah, that's funny. But no, Randy Orton, the Legend Killer, and then now the Viper. And there's just something about him that he is this generation's Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I'll break it down for you. They both wear black trunks, underwear. They both come out in vests.
Does he? I haven't even paid attention.
Yeah, his is more like a cloth hoodie vest, and Stone Cold is the leather cut vest.
Right.
And they're both snakes. Randy Orton's the Viper, and Stone Cold is the rattlesnake.
And
Stone Cold Steve Austin was always
similar moves.
Yeah,
the
stunners.
Stunner and
They're
the
both
RKO isn't the same, but it's kind of the same.
Well, the RKO is a modified stunner. That's all.
Pretty much, yeah.
They both have the same finishing move, essentially. The only difference is that Randy Orton doesn't crack open a beer.
Yeah, and he can get him. Randy Orton definitely is more athletic than Stone Cold. He can get that RKO out of nowhere.
Well, yeah.
Speaking of someone like that, I want to see John Morrison come back. I know he's doing stuff with other wrestling corporations. He's married to Melina, and there was some kind of drama. Or something.
Well, I know a lot of them guys, like within that era, that would have been technically my era because you had the Attitude Era, and then after that was kind of a lull moment. But then you had where John Cena come in and basically started this whole different revolution for WWE.
Yep.
I'm not saying he was the reason for that. It's just like him and then everybody else that came in with him and after him started a whole new movement for WWE. And that era was basically at my height of watching WWE. That's when Booker T was
King Booker
and Queen Sharmell and Jerry the King Lawler kept coming in every once in a while to get his fights in, and Undertaker was...
I voted for him a couple times to be mayor of Memphis.
What's that?
I voted for Jerry a couple times to be mayor of Memphis.
No shit.
Yep. He ran every year for the longest time.
And then he was just like, fuck it.
I don't know why he stopped. I mean, he ran several years in a row, though. A bunch.
Man, we've been talking about wrestling for a while now. I mean, it's actually a huge part of my fucking life right now. I've dedicated so much time and money into it.
I'm down for some wrestling. I mean, half of the stuff, I always feel like that I'm low energy and the stuff that I'm saying is garbage. So I mean, a lot of what I've been talking about, you could probably just edit half the stuff out. I mean,
well, that's all gonna have to be when I listen to it again. But
yeah, I know
I'm all new to this fucking solo podcasting anyways. I don't even know what the hell my concept's going to be. Like I mentioned to you, what I want to do is kind of every episode have a new person on.
Shooting the shit with Cody. Because that's basically what we're doing, is just shooting the shit. We're just randomly talking. Just
the way things are going, it sounds like it's going to be talking crap with Cody. Because
talking crap.
That's how I'm doing this.
You can just put that poop emoji over my mouth, and that's pretty much exactly that could be a good cover for you.
The reason why I picked talking
the poop
crap
emoji on your mouth.
So I came up with all three of these names. I'll tell you the story behind each one of them. The Super Secret Cody project was because you mentioned that in one of your tweets, and I was like, that could actually be a decent name for this. So I was like,
oh yeah, I forgot that. I would have voted for that.
I kind of thought that's what you were gonna vote for, but then I was like, nah, let's.
Yeah, that was actually my last choice.
Talking crap was actually because Greg and I were gonna do a segment in Basement Dwellers called Talking Crap.
Oh.
It was just kind of something that was talked about. It wasn't really something that we were gonna go for. But you get ideas going around for what you want to do as a creative thing to evolve your already creative thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So Talking Crap was going to be a segment in Basement Dwellers. That fell through. So I was like, all right, well, I could always call it Talking Crap with Cody for this podcast, because the reason why it was going to be Talking Crap to begin with was because I'm a janitor, and I've been a janitor my entire life. Since I started working, I've been a janitor. I literally have not had any other paid profession other than being a janitor. So Talking Crap fits well with me.
For multiple places or for the same place?
Multiple places. When I first started working, I worked at Promenade Cinema as an usher, which is basically a fancy way of saying janitor. I then moved on from there. I guess, I worked at Walmart as a stalker. I worked at Channel 9 as a production assistant, which is basically doing bitch work. And then I back and forth between Walmart and Stony Creek. I worked at Stony Creek as a janitor, and that's my second job, is being a janitor at Stony Creek, which is a hotel. And
cool. Do you find drugs and shit in people's rooms, and only when you search through their stuff, huh?
I think the weirdest thing I've ever found.
I would have to go to drugs first. I could have just said the weirdest thing that you've ever found.
Okay, so here are a couple of my weirdest experience. One day, the power goes out. This is the least weirdest experience I've had there. The power goes out, so I still had to do my job.
there was a room that was supposed to be out, and basically part of my job is to go in, strip all the linen and all the garbage out of rooms so the housekeepers can go in and basically just clean the room and get out. That way they don't have to worry about stripping the room themselves.
Oh wow, the housekeepers, they're too good to the beds themselves now, are they?
No, it just speeds things along, and
No, it really does. It's more efficient, but I've never heard of that before. That's just is bizarre to me.
and to be honest, I think we were the first hotel to do that, which, hey, whatever, it is what it is, but
Cool. Revolutionaries in the hotel business.
yeah. But we the power went out, and I still had to go into this room and get it stripped out, and I knock on the door, say housekeeping, knock on the door, housekeeping, and nobody answers. So I walk in, and there is a guy standing in there, butt-ass naked, no towel around him or nothing, just got out of the shower, butt-ass naked, standing there. Didn't say, like I said, he didn't say anything, didn't say that he was in there, but he was butt-ass naked. So I was like, oh shit, I'm sorry. So I turned my head to like look away and like get out of the room. But as I turn my head, I see his wife standing there with a towel on her head and nothing else on. So I walked in on two naked people.
Nice.
And the power was out. So, but that's the least weirdest experience. I walked into this room, and it was basically a bachelor party the night before. Blow up dolls, condoms, dildos, all that type of shit all over the place.
Oh wow.
It was fucking. I don't even want to know what happened that night.
That room, that's the room you put the rubber gloves on and the fucking rubber boots on and the fucking 2 gallons of bleach and
Yep.
just douse the whole room. It doesn't matter. It'll bleach the carpets. It'll bleach everything. It'll be the same color. It'll be a themed room now. Bleached.
My favorite experience that I like to tell people about was we have this event that goes on every year around the 4th of July called Saturday in the Park. We have this park, this big local park that you can go to, whatever. It's got a big band shell and everything, and it's Grandview Park, and it's actually right down the street from where I live. But we have this big event that goes on once a year. Bands come. One year we had Sublime come.
Oh, that's cool.
They stayed at Stony Creek, and I had the pleasure to strip out one of their rooms.
I was fixing to say, I bet you that room was fucked up.
No, but
No?
you could smell the weed from the 3 rooms down the hallway, and of course they had a big suite room.
Uh-huh.
And you could smell the weed like three rooms down. And we opened the door.
Well, have you ever listened to Sublime?
Oh yeah, dude, come on.
I mean, I smoke 2 joints in the morning, I smoke 2 joints at night.
I know.
In the afternoon, 2 joints before I smoke 2 joints, and then I smoke 2 more.
I know, I get it. I know who Sublime is. I know. I know who they are. So, I mean, it's just that you could smell it. That's how
Right.
strong it was. And
That's cool.
You open up.
Yeah,
the
that's
door.
like being like, do I smell weed coming from Snoop Dogg's room?
Of course you do. But no. So we open the door and we get in, and of course you get hit with that big brick wall of just that dank stench, and then but the room was immaculate. It was clean. The only discrepancy about it was the very strong marijuana smell coming from it.
All right.
The further on into the room we got, there was prescription pill bottles that had nuggets in it still. And
Nice.
by the way, they had checked out long before we even entered this room. But
Oh, they left stuff. Cool.
they left a lot of stuff. Pill bottles with nuggets in them, and a blunt in the microwave, a joint underneath the toaster, and then they had papers in the bedroom, and blunt sticks in one of the side table dressers.
Damn. They left all that. What did they fucking carry out of there?
Probably more than that, yeah. But it was...
Unless they just never traveled with it and they just had stuff brought to them, and that's cool. But
I never partook in any of that stuff from that day. But I saw it and I was just like, wow.
did y'all turn it in? What happened to it?
Oh no, the house. I gave it all to the housekeeper. She took it with glad tidings.
I'm sure she did. So hey, look what I found! Holy shit!
I shouldn't actually be telling that, but hell, that housekeeper doesn't even work there anymore. So wasn't.
See, the beauty of editing your own podcasts is you don't have to correct yourself in the moment. You can always just go back and take that whole chunk away.
See, I'm all new at this. That's the problem.
Well, that's true, but it's, you know what? I'll try to think of where it was. I can find that YouTube video. There's one or two of them. I sent it to Cult of Dave, and I sent it to Scoob and them. I sent it to a couple people to help them learn how to edit.
But what was that? Oh shit! I was still talking about my name.
It'll take a long time at first, but you'll get faster at it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not new to editing in general. I used to make little videos and shit we had our school news. I
okay.
used to do shit like that, and I made videos. I've made free time videos and stuff. The only difference between that and this is that this is strictly audio, whereas that was video and audio. So I had to match audio with video and edit it all together, cut it at the right moment.
Do you have any audio? Do you have any video editing stuff, like software?
Probably, but it's all basic stuff that come with the computer.
Well, because Pat's not gonna fucking do it, and I don't think he told me to do this so that he could do it, but he's not gonna do it. When I went to Red Bank, when I was on Comic Book Man, I took a whole bunch of 10, 20, 30-second videos of different areas of Red Bank and stuff. And the whole idea was to do like a little documentary of my trip to Red Bank to be on Comic Book Men and all that stuff. And we would put it on YouTube as one of our first YouTube videos, and we would record like a podcast over it. So I ran out of room on my phone, so I started sending him the videos in my email. For some reason, I didn't send it to me.
Oh, hold that thought real quick. I gotta get my kid. Oh.
It's 2:40 in the morning. Don't you cry tonight. Oh, please edit out me singing. If you didn't the first time, please go back and edit me out singing. Oh my God.
What were you talking about? Oh yeah, you were talking about your video. Making your video for...
I need somebody to edit all the video together, because I don't have any software and I've never done video before.
Well, I can see what I got here on my computer.
And then, man, I was in such a rush to pack to have all the stuff so I could look cool and stuff on TV. And then they made me put my straight black shirt and black hat. But then I forgot my belt, so one of the crew let me borrow their belt. Really, really nice leather belt, and I fucking stole it. I didn't do it on purpose, though. On the way back, I was still... No, because I emailed her, and I was still driving back, because I had to rest after, like, 12 hours. I stopped at a rest stop, and I slept. So the 18-hour drive ended up being, like, 22 hours, because I slept about 4 hours each way. Yeah, it was funny, because I was posting on Twitter to let people know my progress and stuff. And when I got there, I was talking to Mike, and Ming walked up. And he was like, "This is Marshall." And he was like, "Hey, man, what's up?" And Mike looked at him funny. He's like, Marshall Richardson. And he was like, "Oh, dude, what's up?" And he was like, "Man, you're fucking crazy." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "That's like Mike called me crazy too earlier." What? He's like, "I keep up with you on Twitter. I watch that shit. Fucking sleeping in rest stops." No, what he said first. He was like, "Yeah, I heard you were sucking a little cock on the way over here." And I was like, wait. And I looked at Mike, and I put my hands up. I'm like, what? And he was like, yeah, I keep up with you. Talking about resting at rest stops. You know what they do there? You're fucking crazy. I'm like, oh. No, man, you got me all wrong, man.
That's hilarious.
No, because it took me so off guard. I wish I could have had, just like the first time I ever met Brian Johnson. My ex-wife was, I don't know, I'm sure she probably still is, but she's lost a lot of weight. But she's self-conscious, self-conscious, and she was, because tell him Steve Dave, they're not, the earlier episodes they had fat news a lot, and they don't really like fat chicks, and it's okay. And they deny that at this point, any girl is good and stuff. But see, I have to be careful because I can say just whatever the fuck comes out of my mouth when I'm editing my own podcast. So she was afraid maybe that somebody would say something, a snide comment, or because she's used to that in her life.
Yeah.
And so I told Mark that, and I was like, she's kind of worried. And he was like, the same thing Mike said when Mark told Mike. He was like, have you seen Brian? He would be the first one to tell you, have you seen me? So I don't know how it happened. I told Mark told Mike, somebody told Walt, and then, so when I first met Brian, I met Ming, got him to sign the stuff, pictures and whatnot. I went to Mike, and Mike was like, oh yeah, I have something for you. Reached under the table, gave me the box. He said, we saved you shipping. These are your comics for the month, instead of shipping them to my house. I was like, oh great. And they had given me 1 through 4 Cryptozoic Man for my wedding gift since Mike was renewing our vows. Awesome. Brian was reading the newspaper down there, never looked up. And I got to the end to look at him, and he took his glasses off, and he looked at me. He was like, are you the fucking pussy that I was afraid they were going to fucking make fun of him? And I was like, I was shocked. I had no idea what to say. I just kind of pointed to my ex. I'm like, it was really actually her. And he looked at her, and he pulled her to the side, and he was like, have you seen me? I mean, what the hell? But he talked to her for 2-3 minutes, and by the end she was giggling and he was laughing with her. And I mean, I talked to him a little bit the second time when I was on Comic Book Man. We haven't talked a bunch, but he's awesome. Whatever he said to my ex, she was perfectly great for the rest of the whole trip. I mean, it was pretty neat. She even got in a picture with Jason Momoa and myself. And that wouldn't have happened before she talked to Brian. I don't know what the fuck he said. He's an awesome dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's the sweetheart, but he's also a hard ass at the same time.
He shocked me. That's what I was originally going. The same kind of shock that I got from Ming was the same shock I got from Brian. Freaked me out. I heard you've been sucking cock. I'm like, what the fuck is going on about me? I don't need that reputation with these guys. No.
It's not true.
They will jump on that like, fuck all that. Oh no.
Oh man, where are we at? 2 hours and 9 minutes. Oh man, I don't even know remember what we fucking talked. I know we talked about WWE for a long time, but
we talked about WWE and we branched off
1,000 times.
Got lost in the weeds. Yeah, it's my problem. Something will remind me of something, and then I'll start talking about that. And my problem is I keep jumping like chain conversation, but I never finish any stories. It's just I start 12 stories, and it's like, wait, what was I talking about? 20 minutes ago. That's what started this, and then which started this, and then when it, etc.
At least we got something to fucking put together, though. It's not just a bunch of silence.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's that in here too, but
we talked a lot. I mean, enough for 2 episodes even.
Well, what I was, oh man, I really wanted to record last week because last week, we talked for 2 hours then too, and right. We talked about a hell of a lot. But the only problem with last week is that there's a lot of personal shit in there that I don't think that you wanted to get out. So
yeah, most of the stuff. I mean, just divorce stuff and other stuff. me being a part-time real-time gigolo on the side. Hit me up, ladies. Squishy now sink.
But I don't
it's
know,
a joke. No, it's not.
I like
It's
doing
illegal in
this.
Mississippi. It's a joke.
What?
Nothing.
I like doing this. Podcasting is a really good outlet for anything. It relieves stress. You can talk, get whatever you have on your mind out, and on top of that, like, you record it and somebody else listens to it. Maybe you can help them out along the way. But the whole idea of podcasting is basically you have a voice and you want it to be heard, so get it out there, right? So
Sure.
It's free and hop on it while you can. So that's basically what I'm doing. And I don't know. I have a lot of ideas going on in my head that I want to get out there. I got a lot of goals and stuff, and the only way to do that, and the only way I can accomplish my goals, is starting from the bottom. And the best way to start from the bottom is to meet new people.
Start with me. I get you, man. I'm the bottom of the barrel.
You are. I'm scraping very low here. So
pretty low.
I hope people appreciate this.
Yeah, I'm sorry if people listen to 2 hours of me rambling. I really apologize.
It's all your fault. It's all your fault if people ever come. You know what? It is your fault. You want to know why? Because more people have liked and commented on my shit because of you than ever before. So.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you looking at? I mean, I don't even know. I haven't paid attention.
No, people.
Well, I have a couple of new listeners that are pretty gung ho, and they retweet, and they have lots of friends too.
Yeah. You get into the ant verse, the ant universe, and I haven't really broken into that characteristic.
I'm only known in the anthill. I'm not known anywhere else. I have a couple of comic book buddies, but mostly it's all ants. All my friends, even my real life friends, and I call them real life friends. We're all real life friends, but I don't know what else to call them.
Well, the people that you actually talk to on a normal basis and stuff. Yeah,
they're all out of state, so really,
I truly only have like one friend, and then I have my family. But I don't know. I'm good with that. I'm okay with that. I still talk to people through social media and everything, but
I gave up my friends. I gave up everything and moved here. My only friend was my ex.
Yeah.
And this is her hometown, and then all of her family lives here, so I guess she had the support that she needed to decide that she didn't need me anymore or whatever. So, I'm still here because of my 5-year-old.
Yeah.
I don't know. I definitely don't know anybody, and I get all the dirty looks because everybody knows her family, and that's not necessarily 100% true, because now there's been the rumor, one person at Dollar General recognized me from the fucking comic book man.
I know you said that last week.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. It was pretty cool, and there was like 6 people in the store, and they started talking about it. And as soon as one person heard TV, everybody dropped their basket, not dropped, but left their baskets and came to talk to me, and they're all talking about comic books, and I like the Avengers better, but this and this, and it's like, oh, cool, okay. People ask me for pictures and autographs, and I'm like, I mean, I'll take pictures with y'all, but I'm sorry, y'all, I feel like an asshole signing autographs. I mean, I've been on TV once for 3 seconds, and I just feel like an asshole. And then I was told later, when I asked some people on Twitter, I was the asshole for not signing them. So, I mean, I don't know what the fuck. I never even practiced an autograph or any retarded shit like that. But, so now every once in a while, I'll have people not mean mug me when I walk by. I was actually going somewhere with that, but I don't know what the fuck I was saying.
Welcome to my world, man.
It's getting late. Yeah,
Oh, it's 3:00.
I gotta get my little girl sometime in the next few hours.
Well, we should wrap this up. All right, it looks like we're going to be calling this Talking Crap with Cody. So.
Talking Crap with Cody.
54%, and the other two are only at 23%.
Yeah, that's actually what I'm staring at right now.
So, if you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in to Talking Crap with Cody.
And if you're listening this far, and you've gotten through it, God bless you.
Yes.
I'm sorry for my rambling.
Both of us rambled on for... I mean, it was pretty even back and forth, I'd say.
Okay, good. Because I felt like once I got on some tangents, I didn't stop.
Well, same here.
When I start getting kind of out of breath, I'm like, yeah, I must be talking too damn much.
See, I have the same problem, but when I start talking, I start losing track of what I'm talking about. So when I am...
Oh, we're going to be bad. That's bad. When you're editing, tell me if we actually finished any single topic.
We probably didn't, because there's... Like, in my mind, I'm like, there's things in there that are still unsaid, but yeah, I don't know. Anyways, if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. I'm Cody Harder, and with me I have...
Oh, I am Marshall.
And you can find him where?
Twitter. You can find me. I'm at SquishyNos Inc. I don't usually spell it squishy, squish, SQUISHYNOSINC. And I hate to even say it because I've been given so much shit for this. It's trademarked, so just Google Squishy Nos Inc. and you'll find me all over the place.
Just Google Squishy Nos Inc. If you need help spelling that, then you're a nerd.
Well, people, when they read it a lot, I've heard Squishy Nos Inc. and Nozick, and it's three, like... words basically. Anyway, I don't need to get into that. I've talked about that a bunch too. I shall shut up and we can end this. I apologize, and I also apologize for the longest edit you'll ever have in your whole life.
Probably not. I still got a lot of other shit I need to piece apart. Anyways, yeah, so thanks a lot for listening. I'm Cody Harder, and you can find me on Twitter at... I believe I don't even know my own Twitter handle. It's at Cody_Harder, or you can just look up Cody One of a Kind Harder. And I'm on Facebook at Cody Harder. And for some odd reason, there's millions of Cody Harders out there. I thought I was the only one, but I'm not alone apparently. So, thank you for listening. I guess we're gonna call this Talking Crap with Cody.
Episode 1, the never-ending podcast.
Exactly. And it just goes on and on and on like the Energizer Bunny, and it just never ends. And I don't have a sign-off, so I'll just do my normal sign-off and bid you bye-bye.